griot from the Mandinka tribe of Mali. We are safekeepers of the oral history of our culture. This is the story of a great man with many names. Sundiata Keita, Jata, the Lion of Mali. Maghan Kon Fatta was the king of Mali. One day, as the king and his griot rested under the silk cotton tree, a hunter approached and requested permission to speak. He said, "Listen to my message. I see two hunters coming to your city. They have come from afar and are accompanied by a woman. The woman bears a disfiguring hump on her back, but this is the woman you must marry, for she will be the mother of him who will make the name of Mali immortal." Two young hunters approached the king's court, bowed towards the king, and the elder one spoke. "The young woman we are with is from Do and is called Sogolon. We bring her as a present to the king, for we deem her worthy to be a king's wife." A flash of lightning and a rattle of thunder burst out and lit the whole sky. It is then when the midwife came to announce to the king that he was the father of a boy. He will be called Sundiata Keita, the first of his name. Sundiata had a slow and difficult childhood. At age 3, he was still crawling on all fours, while children of his age were already running. The disability of her son weighed heavily on Sogolon, and even the king himself lost hope. The king went to see a seer to ask whether this was really the child that was foretold. The seer answered, "Great trees grow slowly, but plunge their roots deep into the ground." King Maghan Kon Fatta died when Sundiata was only 7 years old. Dankara Tuman, the son of the first wife Sassouma, was proclaimed king, and she became all-powerful. Sogolon and her family were banished to the backyard of the palace. On one of the many days that Sogolon was humiliated by Sassouma regarding her son's disability, she shed tears, asking her son in despair, "Will you never walk?" Sundiata looked up and said, "Do not worry, mother. I am going to walk today." Sundiata supported himself on his knees while his other hand picked up the iron bar. He threw his weight on it and his knees left the ground. He straightened up and was on his feet in one go. Sogolon stood dumbfounded. When Sassouma, the queen mother, saw Sogolon's son stand up, she trembled in fear. Sassouma, the queen mother, made plans to have Sogolon and her son killed. Sogolon decided it would be best for her and her children to flee Mali. They walked a dusty road for miles as kings chased them from their courts. Eventually, they were welcomed by King Soumaoro of the Ouagadougou Empire. Sogolon became ill, and King Soumaoro sent him to Mema to the court of his cousin Musa Tunkara. It was at the court of Mema that Sundiata, at the age of 15, went on his first war campaign. Sundiata astonished everyone with his strength and bravery. Soon, his reputation spread across Mema and beyond. After 3 years, Musa Tunkara appointed Sundiata as his viceroy. Sogolon said to her son, "Your destiny lies not here, but in Mali. The time has come." Mali had fallen under the domination of her new master, Soumaoro Konte, king of Soso. King Dankara Tuman of Mali was forced to flee Mali. King Dankara's sister, Nana Triban, was forcefully taken as a wife of the king of Soso. The soothsayers agreed that only the rightful heir to the throne could save Mali. The contingent from Mali eventually found Sogolon and her son in Mema. They told him of the predicament in Mali and that he was the only one who could deliver his fatherland. His mother, Sogolon, had been seriously ill and passed away that very night. He buried his mother in Mema and proceeded on his date with destiny. The kings of Mema and the Ouagadougou Empire both gave Sundiata half of their armies. Sundiata headed to Tabon, where his childhood friend, Frank Kamara, had become king. Soumaoro, the king of Soso, decided to march to Tabon with his forces. The opposing armies met at Negueboria, where a fierce battle took place. Sundiata saw Soumaoro within spear range and hurled his weapon. It bounced off his chest. Sundiata picked up his spear and charged at Soumaoro, but he had vanished. On the top of the hill was Soumaoro, the king of Soso. How could it be? In the life of every man comes a moment where he starts to question himself and his destiny. All the allies of Sundiata met at the great Plains of Sibi, awaiting what destiny had promised them. They were joined by the army of Fakoli, a nephew of Soumaoro, the king of Soso, whose wife had been taken by his evil uncle. Nana Triban, Sundiata's half-sister, had escaped the king of Soso and shared the secrets to his power. They made an arrow tipped with a cock's spur. With his powerful voice, this, Sundiata made a war cry, and his cavalry charged towards the enemy soldiers. Sundiata did not let the king of Soso out of his sight. Sundiata aimed his bow, and the arrow flew and grazed Soumaoro's shoulder. The effect was immediate, and he felt his powers leave him. Soumaoro took to flight on his horse, with his son Soso riding beside him. Soso was captured, while the king of Soso escaped to the dark caves of Kulikoro. All the kings received their kingdoms from Sundiata, and they bowed before him. Balia Faseke, the great griot, proclaimed, "Maghan Sundiata, King of Mali, in the name of the 12 kings of the bright country, we salute you as Mansa."